Welcome to Successful Toy Podcast, where we shine a light on the positive side of every journey. Our platform is dedicated to celebrating the success stories and unique experience of people from all walks of life, regardless of their fame or background. Whether you're a well-known figure or just starting out, the Successful Toy Podcast is here to share your story and inspire other listeners with your achievements and insights. Join us as we explore a diverse range of topics and uplift voices that deserve to be heard. Everyone has a story to tell, and we're here to listen.
Hey y'all, hey, so I'm back today. I have an interview and I'm gonna let my guest introduce herself. Don't give them too much, give them a little bit, because at the end of the show I give the platform to you to tell them everything.
Okay, thank you. Well, my name is Oheema, and I am a spiritual guide, certified life coach, and certified customer service specialist. Is that enough, or you want me to keep going?
Nope, I love it, period. I don't know what
Okay.
happened with my mic. Hold on. Yeah, that was good enough. Okay, let's get into it. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. What led you to start a spiritual integration service?
Well, for one, people kept coming to me for advice, and for my own personal journey, I had learned that what I was brought up in, like in a Christian background, wasn't exactly resonating with me. And then I started meeting people that were from different backgrounds, different belief systems. So I just took what resonated and applied it. And I was like, if more people had a different way to resonate with spirituality or religion or just any type of a divine presence outside of themselves, I want to help them be able to integrate that into their everyday life, because then you can deal with stress a lot easier. Not everybody is comfortable with therapy, but if you have a different way of dealing with stress, then you can maneuver life a whole lot better.
Yeah,
Does that make
that
sense?
that is true. I got into spirituality in 20, it was before the pandemic. So it was either the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020. But when I tell you, it helped me get grounded, like
Mm-hmm.
for real. Like I used to be all over the place. And now I'm like so peaceful. I have control of my
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, of my actions. So yeah, and I could tell when it get knocks off because I be doing the crazy stuff and I turn into the old me and I be like, oh, I need some
Mm-hmm.
new energy. I need some new
Yeah,
energy. So
I
that is
just was
definitely
going
true.
through that myself. Yep, I had to. The last few days, that's how you know when you're getting close to a breakthrough,
Hmm.
because you'll start to get off centered and then you start questioning, like, okay, am I on the right path? Am I really, receiving what I thought I
Hmm.
was receiving, and things like that. And those are just challenges, I think, to help remind us, stay centered, stay grounded, don't be thrown off so easily,
Yeah.
because when you get really in tune with spirituality, anybody you come across with that you have a bond with, you start to take on their energies and their emotions, and you really have to take time to say, okay, is this my stuff or is this somebody else's stuff?
Hmm.
And if you don't take that time, like you said, you'll be so off balance.
Yeah. And I be telling people all the time, and I don't know if they believe me or not, but you don't just have to be in person with people to get their
Mhm.
energy. Like I feel people
Exactly.
energy when I'm doing interviews with them. I can feel their
Mhm.
energy if I'm talking to them on the phone. Like I don't know, like I can feel that energy and I'd be like, this is not it. So I be throwed off my game and then I be
Mhm.
texting my friends like, yeah, this interview, I ain't into it. And they be like, no, but you're doing a good job. I be like, yeah, but I ain't into it.
Mhm. Because when you're I really don't like to use the word empath, but when you can feel other people's energies, it's difficult to maneuver around that a lot of the time, because you're like,
Hmm.
okay, is this a test for me to, recognize that I still have things I need to work on within myself? Or is this really like, do I trust my intuition and just not go with this energy because it's so funky? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's where, for me, that's where meditation comes into play. So I just have to sit in silence for a minute and really be like, okay, let me take my thoughts out of it and ask source, like, where do I go with this? you know.
I love that. Can you share an example of how you've helped a client through your spiritual integration practice?
Well, it depends. I like to customize everything because everybody's not just a cookie cutter type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. So it depends on what it is they feel like they need to work on, you know. And I tell people, like, you really, really have to have a mind of your own. Like, people think that I walked away from believing in a creative force just because I don't prefer to use the word God anymore in that sense. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And I was like, because of my experience with it, I just feel like people get distracted by the term God instead of what it represents. So, you know, I just use another term, what resonates with it. If I'm speaking to somebody from a Christian background, most definitely I'm going to speak to them in what resonates with them. And if it's somebody in the
Mm-hmm.
metaphysical background, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
have to meet people where they are. And I think a lot of times people don't have the patience and they want people to just hurry up and get it, and not everybody can just hurry up and get it. So it really just depends on where they feel like they need the help at, and then
Mm-hmm.
we go from there.
I've seen a person one day put on Facebook that um, basically saying that spirituality, we wear crystals and stones and all this type of stuff and sage, that's not of God. How do you feel about that? Please explain why they say that.
I feel like they say that because they read in the Bible that certain things are witchcraft. However, the people that wrote the Bible use our spiritual practices against us and then tell us it's witchcraft so that we don't elevate to the same level that they elevate to, and then we stay under their control. However,
Mm-hmm.
if you open your heart, mostly open your heart and mind to just do the research and do the knowledge, then you'll find out that it's all just energy. It's all just like the crystals and the stones and sage are just tools to people to help people feel closer to what they resonate with, the divine or
Mm-hmm.
nature or whatever. It's no different than when you're in church and you take communion and you eat the cracker and drink the blood. Those are rituals. You know what I mean? When you're dancing and praising, it's no different than somebody chanting or humming, you know what I mean, in order to connect. People fail all the time in their judgment of how other
Mm-hmm.
people resonate with their version of God, you know, and that's why so few will make it because the judgment is so far and wide.
Because it's so crazy because like I knew about sage growing up, but I didn't know what it was. My
Mm-hmm.
grandmother used to always sage. And then when, like I said, when I got started with my spirituality with the walks and the
Mm-hmm.
crystals, I started using sage and I'm like, I used to smell this smell when I was a child. I
Mm-hmm.
remember before my grandmother used to move into an apartment, she would sage it, have that sage
Mm-hmm.
burning in a corner. Like I remember that just plain as day. So it's like I remember this scent. This scent is familiar. So
Mm-hmm.
people been using it, but we just ain't know what it was. But
Right.
once
And
I
then,
did my research, I'm like you. Like once I did my research and stuff, it's like
mhm.
okay, I get it. I
Yeah,
know what.
because I apologize. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. I get
No, no,
excited speaking
it's
on
cool.
these things, but people just need to recognize that those things come from earth, right? And God
Mhm,
created the earth, right? So
mhm,
it's like smoke resonates with the fire element. Smoke carries vibrations. So if you want to send a prayer or a request, smoke and water carry vibration. Water holds memory. That's why you should never drink water when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're depressed, because water holds memory. You can speak to water and freeze it, and then when it thaws out and drink it, you're literally taking in that energy. It's like a cleansing. We're made out of water, you
mhm.
know. We
Cause
come from
I,
the earth.
cause I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I be drinking water, oh my God, it be feeling so refreshing to my body.
Mhm.
And I feel what you're saying because when I feel good and I drink the water, it's like, oh my God, that was so refreshing. I needed that.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So I get everything that you're saying. Breaking the Silent podcast says she is a woman of wisdom and purpose. She talking about you because she ain't talk about me.
Oh, I can't see the comments. So I thought that was like an outro, like, like we were getting ready to pause.
That was a comment.
Much gratitude, peace, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm one of those people. I really genuinely care about the collective and humanity as a whole, and so I really like what I want for myself. I want for everybody else. You know what I mean? I don't see. The earth is so plentiful and there's more abundance than people realize. And there's really no need for competition or, things like that. It's more than enough for everybody, So I like to try and see everybody eat because nobody likes being hungry.
I swear, I'm starving right now as we speak, but I ain't worried about it. It's coming. It's coming.
Indeed. It's all in your perception on how you see things, and you have to be willing to reprogram your belief system sometimes too, and detach from the things like you can believe in something and then you can know something, right? If you just read in a book and you don't put those things into practice, then you're still just believing until you put them into practice. Then you know what I mean? And once you know, you realize everything is just energy and it's all the same energy, just with a bunch of different labels and titles to it to trick us, right? Keep us divided and everything,
So we're going to get into some comments because they commenting over here.
Okay. I can't see them. Oh, let me click.
It's okay. I'm going to read it. Good afternoon to you too. Breaking the Silent says, yes, when I drink water, I feel like refreshed too. I can't pronounce your name, so I'm not going to mess it up. I think it's Ahmad. Hey, Queens, peace and blessing. Hey, how you doing? Breaking the Silence said, I feel refreshed too when I drink water because, girl, I was wondering what you said at the top.
So let's think about it. We use water to baptize people all the time. It's a cleansing. It's a cleansing. Even crying is a cleansing.
Oh
people
my
are
God.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I let it go all the time.
It feels my so good. I be like, I'm a crybaby.
Yeah.
But it feels good. It feels so good though. It do. When you cry and you let it out, because for years I used to hold stuff in, but behind closed doors, like I am a water bag. Like people be thinking like, no, I am sensitive as fuck, but I just put off this persona, but behind closed doors, like I am a water bag.
Yeah. Sometimes I can't even wait till behind closed doors. Like I'm so sensitive. If you raise your voice at me or just say something, like I could tolerate a lot, but if you strike a nerve, I'm mostly crying because I'm about to go to jail.
Me too. I'm crying because I'm trying not to put my hands on you. That's why I'm crying.
I'm like, remember the steps. Breathe.
Yeah. Even when when I was a kid and I used to fight in my teenage years and stuff, even as an adult, when I used to, in my 20s, man, I used to be wild. All I did was fight. But I used to be crying. And then my friends used to be like, what you crying for? What you crying for? Y'all just don't know. I want to kill this mother effer. That's why I'm crying. Like, I ain't crying because I feel like I lost or something. I'm crying because I want to hurt somebody.
Right. Because I'm a real laid back person. I don't bother nobody. And as you can tell, I don't even have an aggressive voice. I don't have an aggressive presence at all. So when people like feel like they have to try and dominate me either through words or actions or whatever, like you, because I couldn't use my voice for so long as being the youngest out of everybody, I always just kept stuff in, and my thing was to just cry about it because I can't say anything. So it's like either say something and lose my job or just cry and walk away or both. You know what I'm saying? Is either you're gonna end this friendship, but whatever, they're gonna think I'm weak. People think when you cry that you're weak,
Weak.
and like,
Uh-huh.
far from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just it's a release. It's like, you know what? I don't even want to use my words anymore. I'm just gonna cry and let it out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Cause
Like, I'm retarded. I ain't crying because I'm weak. I'm very retarded. That's why I'm crying. Because if I see something while I'm crying, if I see a object, you better move. Because I'm grabbing that object and it's going to come towards you. That's why I
you're not
believe in not fighting
sympathetic,
fair.
right? Yeah, I had to. I used to be like that, but domestic violence counseling helped me.
Anger management helped me.
Yeah, they
After
made me skip that. They made me skip that and put me straight in. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is my first time even acting out back. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in a abusive marriage, and so I just one day acted out and threw something at him, and he called the police on me, and I ended up in domestic violence
So, baby, what
counseling.
about those times you gave me all these black eyes and beat me and dragged me, baby? Now I retaliate. Now you want to play the victim. That's what they do, though.
Mhm.
That's what they do.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's why
anger
I don't play anymore.
anger management helped me calm down a lot because I used to act and then think.
Mhm.
Now I
Yeah.
think before I act. So
Hmm.
yeah, it took me running over somebody before I had to go. Yeah, that's how I end up in 6 months of anger management. And when I speak to people that have had anger management, they be like, "Oh, anger management ain't do nothing for me." It's because you didn't want to change.
Right,
I
right,
didn't want to be that person. But
right,
don't provoke me either. When you
right.
provoke me and then I act out and then you want to play victim, you're gonna be the one that
Hmm.
get hurt. So I
Hmm.
had I wanted change. One thing about me, when I want to change, I'm gonna focus on that change. But if I don't want to change, I'm
Exactly,
not doing it. So that's why
exactly.
they never worked for nobody else, because they ain't want to change. They wanted to stay that
Yeah,
person.
and that's what
So
free will is about. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Are you willing to stay the same, or are you willing to do something about it to see growth? You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
If you don't change, you can't really have any growth. And I'm a mom, and I have all daughters, so it's like I cannot allow my daughters to think that this is okay and this is how you respond to things. But
Yeah.
it was a little late because they just go in. They don't know how to think first and act. They are my seeds.
And it's so
And
crazy that you say that, because I always say, like, if I had a daughter, it's a lot of things that I wouldn't have did. But now that you're saying that, it just came to my attention. Like, my mom used to be in a lot of abusive relationships before she
Mhm.
met my stepdad, but God rest her soul, she's dead. But she used to be in a lot of abusive relationships, and now I see the pattern. Like, my mama used to be in and out of jail when I was younger. It's because she done pulled potash on the motherfucker, or she done stabbed the motherfucker. But the only thing, like, I'm scared to stab people because I don't want that blood on me and I don't want to feel so I'd rather beat you with something. But but I see it now, because even when she was with my stepdad, he never put his hands on her, but she used to be abusive to him. And then that's with
Mm,
me. Like, I used to be in abusive relationships, and then once I left that abusive relationship, and then I meet people that won't put their hands on me, but if they argue with me or raise their voice, I'm striking them first because I'm thinking they're gonna hit me. So I see the
mhm.
pattern. I see the
Yeah, I tell people self-reflection is so important, and that the people that are in our lives are reflections of what we,
Mhm.
either love or don't love about ourselves. And I had to really, really admit that I was in denial about who I was deep down inside, right? But
Mhm.
when people tell you things as a child, and especially when it comes from people you look up to, you believe it. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So it makes you like, my grandmother told me I was mean when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I'm like, how? I'm the youngest out of everybody. Who the hell am I mean to? You know what I'm saying? So, and that really bothered me that she would say that, because I'm like, you got a nerve. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Mhm.
and so, and then it didn't help that my siblings picked on me. You know what I'm saying? So it just made me real self-conscious about who I was, or, then I went on this path to just try and always be good, and it turned me into a people pleaser. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that really wasn't who I was. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So you just
And
have
that's
to.
it's crazy because you the opposite of me. Your grandma told you you was mean. My grandma told me I was too friendly. Everybody ain't my friend.
Mhm.
And she
I
ain't
don't think.
lying. She didn't lie.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't your friend, but you have to learn it the hard way. And I still to this day be learning that the hard way. But
Mhm.
yeah, but I
My
I was
grandma didn't
always
lie about
friendly.
me either. I mean, like, my grandma didn't lie about me either. But at that age, I didn't think I was mean. It took for
Right.
me to grow into it and have to come across certain situations, and then I'd be like, man, then yeah, people be like, oh, you're mean, or you're too blunt, or you don't know how to talk to people. I
You
just
do.
know how to say what's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? I can't help how you receive it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So again, it made me feel conscious about how I speak to people using my voice. So that's where journaling and like writing poetry and stuff came in real clutch for me, because I didn't feel like I had an outlet to express my emotions. Sometimes I still don't. Even dealing with adults, I'm like, damn, how old are you? And I still, we still can't have. Let me go back to my books.
Let me go write this because
Yeah.
I do something
Yeah.
else. Let's
Yep.
get into
Take it
the
to the
comments.
moon.
Breaking the Silence says, I love this connection. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you. We
you.
appreciate you. I am a
Yeah.
fan. She said, I am a fan of hers. Just love her. She's talking about you again because she don't love me. I'm just playing. She
She made this connection happen. It wouldn't have happened without her.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. And we appreciate you for that because look at us. The Blemish and Beauty podcast says, yep, me too, LOL. She said, it's either these tears or cuffs. I swear to God.
Try it.
Regular Stylist said, those tears mean you are going to hurt them for real. Yes,
For
they need to
real. Yeah,
understand them
for real. They
tears.
don't even be knowing. They don't even be knowing, like, yo,
Uh-huh.
you better scram.
I advise
You
you.
better kick
When I
rocks.
say,
You better get
when I
out of
say
Dodge. Just
leave,
not my food.
when I say leave me alone, leave
Yeah.
me alone.
Yes.
When I
'Cause
say
if
that,
I
that
say
is
leave me
warning.
alone and then I start crying, man, that's it. Because one of us,
Mhm.
somebody calling the people. It ain't gonna be me, but somebody gonna call.
Okay. She said, right, tears are cups. I swear to God. Breaking the Spider says, crying does not mean you are weak. You are about to tear that place up.
They
Yes.
said, yeah. That, I think that's where they got the term hurricane from. Because when a woman get upset and she stop talking, when she stop
Mm,
talking, period. Even if she
mhm.
don't cuss, when she start one word in you or not saying nothing at all, you better start thinking of a backup plan, because she definitely plotting.
Or when she starts staring at something, that means she already got her eye on her object and she done toned your ass out. That
Yeah.
means, baby, just leave me alone. Because right now, that what I'm looking at is gonna go across your head. You got one
Yeah.
more time, just one more.
Mhm.
She said, I
Yeah.
love her realness.
Thank you. I don't
She's
know
like,
any other way, to be honest.
I swear. She said, Toy, you are real too, and I love it. Thank you. I cannot be fake. I promise you I can't.
I can't. The only time I was fake was when I didn't know who I was.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know who I
mm,
was, so I didn't even realize. And it took for somebody to be like, "You fake," and that was one of them situations. Like, what? That's you.
right.
You reflect. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
then it made me realize, like, I was, because for a long time I was too busy pleasing people to even know what I wanted or what I liked, or
Yeah.
who I was. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I definitely have been fake. But once I realized that, I corrected it and I moved accordingly. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Somebody
That's why.
had said, somebody made a post the other day on Facebook, and they were saying, what was the question? It was pertaining to, I guess, like, what's one thing you wish you would have never did, or something like that. Whatever it was, my response was a follower. And they was like, what do you mean by that? Elaborate. And I was like, when I was younger, I always used to be a follower when it came to my friends. I was never a leader. I did everything my friends wanted to do. I never did anything that Toy wanted to do.
Right.
And then they was like, oh, I love that. They was like, but look at you now. You definitely is a leader. And I was like, yes, like I am not a follower no more. If it's something I don't want to do, I speak up. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I don't care how you feel. But if it ain't sitting right with me, I'm not doing it. Either respect my mind or
Yeah, that's it. I had to dash it right there. I don't care who you are, how long we've been tight. The moment you insult my intelligence or make me feel like you disrespect my mental,
yeah.
that's it. That's tears or cuffs. You,
Yep.
you better go. I'm putting that on the shirt, y'all.
You better. And y'all better not steal her idea, either. Making it sound as
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Pleasing
because
people will take you off track. Yes, man.
yeah, it's like because I know I've always known who I was. Again, even at a young age, I was always good with me. But the people who I looked to for influence, who I admired, put negative thoughts, talk negative things to my head. So that had me really messed up. To this day, I'm still working on those issues and those relationships. You know what I mean? And you have to get to a point where you just say, F it, I'm just going to be me. Because, like, I constantly am trying to detach from family, because that's where it started. You know what I mean? And then they constantly always wanted me to be around. And I'm like, no, because I'm old enough to say no now. I don't have to come around y'all if y'all don't make me feel good about who I am. And I've never done anything to you but be born.
Right.
I'm the
I'm
last
always
one to the time. What did I do to y'all? You know what I'm saying?
I'm always the lit one. My mama was like that. Like she was just a lit person, but it was
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, I had another podcast and I had a co-host, and I used to be myself, but I used to be myself because it's like certain things I used to sugarcoat a lot of stuff, trying to spare my mate feelings. But once I started, like, I branched off and did my own thing, I had a talk with my mate, and I told her, like, listen, I'm not being myself because I have a past. And it's a lot of things I can relate to. So I'm going to be me from now on, whether you like it or not. Like, if I can touch that subject, I'm going to touch that subject, whether it was with a man or a woman. I'm going to speak on it. But I can be respectful when speaking on it. But at the same time, I'm going to speak on it because I'm not being myself. I'm not being true to myself. It's like I'm trying to please somebody by sparing their feelings because I don't want to talk about my past. Baby, everybody have a past. And just because you don't talk about your past and you just delete it like it never happened, that's not me.
Right.
So
And I think more people need to recognize that we all have different journeys for a reason.
yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? We might have similar experiences, but everybody is on a different path for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's all about to see if we can recognize the thing that we think separates us. You know what I mean? It is such a challenge for everybody to be of one mind or one accord and to come together for one cause. You know what I mean? And it's like, why? Why do y'all think the creator did that? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like we put labels on everything again, like past, present, and future, but it's just all experiences to get us back to the oneness of the creator, to get us back to our God self. If you can recognize God in the next person, then what are you doing judging them? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But a lot of people
Exactly.
don't see God in themselves. They see God as something outside of themselves. But if you read and study your book, you would know that he's not outside of you. Everything
He's
he
in,
is is inside of you. You have the same power and authority that he has. So why are you still feeling so weak and so helpless? You should be walking around like he gave you paper, stamped it in gold, and put crystals on it. You know what I'm saying? And said that you're approved, because basically that's what he said. And people give away their power still thinking that they're not connected to that source.
Right.
You could do miracles if you really believed, or knew, rather. If you knew, you know.
Right.
You know?
Breaking This Down, it says you have to detach yourself from people that are not aligned with you or your purpose.
Yep. I totally agree with that 100%. Even if it's family, and sometimes those are the hardest things to detach from. Like for me, especially, with my daughters. Like my daughters are my biggest weakness because they're adults now. Two of them have children of their own, and I'm still babying them because of my place of guilt parenting, because of the things that I put them through, through those experiences. So even you have to realize I think it's a meme or something. People post it all the time saying 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be supported by the people closest to you. You're going to find the best support from people outside of you. Right. And so that's difficult for me, getting outside of that comfort zone, because I just want to take everybody up with me. It's like, I don't doubt my abilities. I be trying to get them to see theirs, because I don't have the interest to chase the bag and do all of this and that. I just want to be like, like a hippie out there, just loving everybody. I just want to have my own land and grow my own food, and I just want to be like peace, love, and light. Like that whole conflict stuff is not in me. You know what I mean? But this new generation, I told, my daughters. That part.
How do you balance your responsibility as a business owner with personal spiritual practice?
Personal scripture practice?
Spiritual practice.
I always put my spirituality first, and that's why I decided to try and make it into a business. But I'm realizing I don't like that. Trying to turn it into a business. I don't like that because I've never liked what I've seen money do to people, right? I can get money. I've never had a problem getting money, but I don't like money. You know what I'm saying? It's not even real. It's not even real currency. Can we talk about that part?
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're literally playing real live Monopoly. You know what I mean? We're literally getting everything for free, but they enslave us mentally to make us think we got to work for it. You know what I mean? So I don't like to do things for money. I like to do things because when I was in my Christian faith, I believed what the Bible said. You know what I'm saying? Freely you received, freely you should give. You know what I mean? I feel like if people can pay, great. But if somebody can't pay, then you're just not going to serve them. You're not going to help them on their path. So I don't charge a fee for my services. I tell people, if it resonates with you, give a love donation. The source know whether you had the money to give it or not. And if you don't give, then that's your karma you're creating for yourself. I'm going to receive my payment from the Most High regardless. That's why I don't like. So I've been struggling trying to turn it into a business when I was just doing it freely, when people just came across my path through my other services I was doing. Then, that was more enjoyable. You know what I mean? I like just connecting with people, real people in real time, and then when it becomes about money, people don't want to come and talk to you no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of a sudden they heal. They don't,
Exactly.
they found Jesus when you start asking for
I'm gonna go to the man up above for real. And stick with him.
So
I don't need nobody else to do nothing, but some of these people they be greedy for money. Everything is money. And like you just said, somebody come to you and they really need your help. You're not gonna help them if you call yourself trying to help people, and that's what putting you to do, to help people. So if they ain't got the money, you're not gonna help them at all. Period.
And that's what made me want to start my own business, because there was a time like I really was struggling spiritually, And it was people I was following on social media that I really resonated with what they had to say. And if I didn't have any money for a deposit or whatever, they would be like, well, get back to me when you got some money. I'm like, damn, what if I would have wanted to unalive myself and you were the last person who could have gave me a little bit of hope? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'll just do it from the heart. You know what I mean? And you got to be careful doing that because you will be tested, when you give too much as well. Source will take everything from you because you're giving to the wrong people who are not really trying to receive what you're offering, but just taking because they know you give it for free.
Exactly. I love that. So with that note, we're going to go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored by Shiesty Apparel. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at shiesty.apparel. So let's get into this song. And this is Pink Tokyo, Big Pink. Okay, let's get back into it. That was Big Pink Tokyo, Big Big B. Child, I just be some of these people's songs.
I like the beat. I was in here bopping to it. That's why I have my camera off to the side. I was like, okay.
We got a comment before we get back into the question. People do not support small businesses like they should, but will go into and spend over $100.
True facts.
What you said though, a small business and Foot Locker is a big business. So, I mean, I am over that stage. Like I used to be like that when I first started my business, but baby, I don't care. I don't care who support me, who don't, because those people are probably not your target audience anyway.
Right. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, it's like when your audience is for you, trust me, God is going to send those people. So with me, just like me, I don't have multiple business and I don't make money in my businesses like I feel like I should, but I already know God got me covered and it's going to come. So I don't care who support me and who don't support me. I really don't.
Yep. Facts.
What inspired you to start writing your first book of poetry?
I always loved poetry. Like I said, when I was younger, being the youngest of 7, I didn't, everybody kept, you're the baby, so I just started writing, and I liked making words rhyme, so that's where it began. And I still love to write. So I was like, my inspiration for turning it into a book, though, was for my niece. My niece took her life last year, and she loved to write. That was her way of dealing with her feelings and emotions as well. But she didn't recognize how great of a writer she was. You know what I'm saying? And she had gotten off her path and had stopped journaling and things like that. And for me, it really is a saving grace. If I didn't journal, if I didn't write, my mind would get the best of me a lot of the times. And I don't know if I would have been able to still be here had I not had that as an outlet. So she was the inspiration for me wanting to turn it into a book.
Yeah, I love that. Blemish and Beauty Podcast said, we support you. I know. I love y'all. Like I told y'all this already. Like I never have this kind of support ever in my life. Ever. The support y'all give me, I am so grateful for it because I never, ever had that in my life.
Yeah,
thank you for finally joining us. She said, right, know your target audience and your purpose, and it'll all work out.
Yeah. I tell people a lot of times, you will get deceived by people that are around you. So you'll be taken through certain challenges to see who's really for you and who's really for what you can do for them. You know what I mean? So every challenge is not like people think challenges are a punishment. Oh, I must have did something wrong. No, we all have to grow. So that I like to say there's no lessons, it's all lessons. Once you realize it's a lesson and you really didn't lose anything, then it's a lot easier to move on.
Right. Breaking the Silent Podcast says, I do not care either. We have the world and overseas that will support you. God has definitely brought people to me, period. And he's going to keep on bringing people to you. You know why? Because you're doing something positive. That's why. That's why. She said, sorry, I'm late. I had a meeting, but I'm glad I finally made it. Thank you. We glad you're here.
Look, you're right on time. It was meant.
Yep. Breaking the Silent Podcast. She loves to journal and she is an amazing person. You should have her as a guest too. She's talking to Verbal Tea. Because Verbal Tea podcast is about journaling. And Verbal Tea said journaling has saved my life so many times. So I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
Breaking the Silence says every day, all day. Period, sis.
I like to tell people when you journal, you can ask God or source or whatever to show you signs, right? My daughter, matter of fact, gave me a journal called Letters to the Universe. I highly recommend people get that journal. It's called Letters to the Universe, and it gives you these prompts that you can use to get you started. Like, what is it that you want? Why do you want it? What are some things you can do to get it? And then at the end, there's one of the prompts, they ask for signs. What are some signs to show you that your desire is on the way? And then at the very end, you write your letter in the present tense as though you already have those desires. And then at the very end, you give gratitude and thank the universe for what you already have. And when I tell you, like, I've been seeing so many, it's good because when you start to see the signs and confirmations, you can go back to your journals and be like, what did I ask for? And that's a confirmation for that. And that's a confirmation for that, and then you can relax because you're like, okay, it's on the way. You know what I mean? And it's not doing magic or, and I think she bought it from like 5 and Below. They have wonderful books, especially for journaling and 5 and Below. So if you're on a budget, you can go to 5 and Below. And I might do a giveaway. Next month. I might go purchase some books and do a giveaway in order to, promote myself a little bit more. Because another book is The 4 Agreements. It's not a journal book, but I did that once. I bought like 4 copies and I just gave them away to the first like 4 people who went and hit me up in my email just so they would be aware of my business email and stuff like that, because I haven't had my page set up yet. But I'll do that. Like I give away oils, I do readings. I would love to give you a reading if you're open to it whenever you would like.
I'm definitely open. Because I listen, I've been told my girl like months ago, like I need some new energy because the places that God is taking me, and I feel it, and I can feel my breakthrough coming.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely need some new energy. But I was gonna speak on, you know how people do what's the board called? You know how every year people make these, what are they called?
Resolutions. Oh, vision boards.
Vision boards. So
Mm-hmm.
last year, started me and my girl doing a vision board. We did a Dear God board.
Mm. I
So
like that.
we got we have 6 envelopes on the board, and we got the letters, and it said Dear God, and for each envelope it says a different thing. And so what we did was, on index cards, I did what I want God to do for myself, and she did what God want her to do for her, and then we also did one what we want him to do for us as a whole. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like I haven't checked it in a minute, but the last time I checked it, because we also have a envelope that says answered. So once he
Mm-hmm.
answered what we put in these envelopes, we move it out that envelope and put it into the answer envelope. So I have removed a lot and put them in my answer envelope, but we haven't did it as a whole to see if he answered anything for us as a whole. So I'm gonna make sure today that me and her check that
Yeah.
board. But I love that. So I was like, instead of doing vision boards, I don't want to do a vision board no
Mm-hmm.
more. I want to do a Dear God board, because every day things change that we want God to do for us, you know?
Yeah.
So
That.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking the Silence said, "Oh, I love that title for that journal." Shout out to Verbal
Mm-hmm.
T. She gives me girl, you
Yeah.
know what I'm trying to say. I'm open, LOL.
Yeah.
Verbal T said, "I love that toy. Thank you."
Yeah, I love that idea as well. I might try that one because I did
Yeah.
a vision board, and actually, the only thing that did not come so far is a vehicle and the house. Everything else I had on my vision board, I accomplished.
When
So,
I did a vision board 2 years ago, and I ain't get nothing that was on my vision board. Nothing.
let me tell you what I did when I did mine. I put it away, right? So I didn't
Mm,
look at it. You know what I'm saying? And then when something showed up, I said, "Oh, hey, wait a minute. This is on my vision board." Like one of the first things I remember is I was going through a magazine and the lady had some money spread out in her hand. And I said, "I want to be able to do that." I said, "I want to be able to take a picture with all of that money spread out in my hand like that." And that was the first thing that came true on my vision board. Because, like I
oh,
said, when I make up my mind to do something, I could do it. I just don't
I
like to do
love
a whole
that.
lot of things. You know what I mean? I like to do big things like to help everybody. I don't like to just do something just for me because I feel like in another lifetime I already had it all already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like I've never
No.
had the desire to chase after things or wear designer clothes or like anything name brand I have, somebody probably else gifted me it or bought it for
Mhm.
me because they wanted me to have it because I feel like I am the name brand. So
Yeah. That's
clothes
me.
don't really
I am the
matter,
For real. I
you know.
am the brand. Like
Yeah,
listen. I done been in the store a couple of times for name brand, but I can count on one hand how many times I went in the store. But baby, I'm gonna go get that knockoff, and it's gonna look just like the store, and I'm gonna rock it like I went in the store. So yeah. But
I rather support like
I
small business. You know what I mean? Like if I know somebody
mhm,
who has a clothing line and it's good, I'm like, I'd rather support that than to go support, name
yeah,
brand businesses. So again,
yeah.
it's
And
hard to the
since you
people.
said, like, back in your, like, you feel like um in life before that you felt like you was somebody. Now that you said it, like, I feel like who I used to be and who I came back as, like, they was this boss, because I promise you, I'm not made to work for nobody. I am not made to work for nobody. And
That
yeah, and God already told me, no, I am a boss. I am a
right.
entrepreneur. I can't
Yeah.
I can't
You
work.
because what people fail to realize is God, the creator, called for us to be sovereign. Right?
Mhm.
Y'all have to recognize the creator did not write the Bible. People who wanted to keep a certain group of people enslaved wrote the Bible, right?
Mm.
So there's a lot of meat in the Bible, but the Bible is meant to be decoded. It's not meant to be taken at surface level. We are meant to live freely as the Bible intended, right? But man took the Bible and twisted it all up and said, oh no, we're going to make it like this because we can't allow them to be free, because if they do, they'll take over again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We was running things in the beginning and we got too full of ourselves, right? So the flip script, we got turned inside out. The illusion is now that we don't have any power and now that we're the lesser, and that's a lie. It's always been a lie, but because we were greedy, you know what I'm saying? We had to have it taken from us, but it's coming back.
Yeah.
It's
And
definitely
when you said the word greedy, you ain't lying. Like us, we are some greedy individuals.
Like, you remember Michael Jackson's video, Remember the Times?
Yeah.
Okay, he was trying to show us something in that we were royalty and running dynasties. But do you also remember how ruthless Iman was in that video?
Yeah.
Look at their heads, throw them to the lions. I'm bored. Entertain me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was ruthless. We was ruthless. So now we had to learn a lesson. We had to lose our rewards in order to recognize who we are and gain it back. They're not going to give it to us.
At all.
At all.
They want us to stay at the bottom. They never. Let's not get into that.
They cannot keep us down. Yeah, we don't have enough time for that because I'm working on that. Look, I'm working on that. I'm trying to free our people, but they got to start here first. I'm gonna start posting. I've been working on my lessons. I'm gonna start posting about that.
How does your experience as a master life coach influence the theme or content of your poetry?
I can't even begin to tell you. Honestly, I only took the master life coach certification because people really don't take what you have to offer into accountability unless you got some kind of paperwork or something to validate you. Like, again, the slave mentality. Slaves were required to have paperwork. So people are all caught up in this paperwork, but I am who I say I am, and you've come and dealt with me and experienced my services for free. But now that I'm making it the way y'all want it, y'all want to see some paperwork and this and that, and I'm turning it into an official business. Now you all of a sudden don't need it, or, you know, this and that. And I really just do things just to see how loyal people are. You know what I mean? Because, again, the script is about the change. You know what I mean? Those that were at the top, how does it say, the first shall become the least and the least shall become the first? My time is coming. I just have to be removed from those who are just there to drain. You know what I'm saying? So
it's so crazy that you say about the paperwork. I was just telling Breaking the Silence the other day when she was saying that she wanted to go to school for graphic design because people, they want to see that you got certificate. I'm like, baby, it's people out here that don't have certificate. Like, you don't have to go to school and waste your money when you already good at something. Teach yourself. You're self-taught. So why would you go to school just because these people, they want to see some certification? Like, fuck them people. If they're going to work with you, God is going to send who needs to be your customer.
And it says in the Bible, study to show thyself approved. It don't say go to an institution. They send crazy people to institutions. Think about it. They send prisoners to institutions. You know?
She said, stop telling my business. Yes, ma'am, your time is now. Here she goes. Somebody, stop telling my business. LOL, love you and your motivation. But you know I be right. You know I be right. I don't tell you nothing that I think is gonna not help you grow. Like, why waste your money when you can teach yourself? That's what they got YouTube for.
And not only that, like when I tell you that if you take time in prayer or meditation, whichever term resonates most with you, you will be shown everything you need to know. It tells you we have the same mind as the creator, right? But we would be overwhelmed if we had all of that knowledge at one time inside of us. So if you trust that you are connected to that source, then you will know at the right and divine time, you will receive that knowledge. You are the book. You are the knowledge. Stop looking outside of yourself. That's part of the trick. Remember, the father's the trick, the devil's the trick of, what's the word? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Smoke screens and mirrors.
Whatever.
Yeah. You know, we get so caught up again with the illusion of things that are outside of us when the creator gave us everything we need to be divine, to be supreme, to have our own authority. I don't walk under anybody's authority but my own.
Period.
Uh-oh, did we say something wrong? Oh, I was like, they trying to shut us down.
You seen that too? You seen that? Okay. The Blemish Beauty Podcast says this is confirmation. This is confirmation because I've been thinking about school. What are you going to school for?
They cut your mind.
You can't hear me?
We struck a nerve. They trying hard to cut.
You can't hear me?
Because I've been thinking about it.
You can't hear me? Oh, hell no. That's crazy. That is crazy. You can't hear me?
This is they didn't like that.
So can she?
I can now, yeah.
Okay, you hear me? Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I can hear you. I was able to hear you the whole time. You just kept freezing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You were scaring me because I was gonna say this mother. Can you give
they definitely had both of us
stinking ass bitches. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a sneak peek or share a favorite piece from your upcoming book of poetry?
No. See,
I like how you said it. You was like,
no. Because I have so many. Like if I would have known that question was coming, I could have picked one and then I could have been prepared. But a lot of the times when I'm writing, it's usually from a sad place and it's a release. So but I don't know, I have a lot of different
girl, you ain't got to share with us. You said no. Stand on business.
Yeah, because I was trying to think like
business. Fuck us. Don't be trying. No. You said no, and then you trying to come up.
I was just trying to think like, damn, do I have one on the top of my head? No. Actually, what I was trying to do was seeing if I wanted to just make one up on the spot. That's what I was really thinking. Like nobody.
No. Stand on business. Stand on business. You said no, and that's what it is. Fucking no. Fuck us. Shit.
I'm a procrastinator. Honestly, I'm a procrastinator. I literally just told a friend of mine this morning. I said everything is written. I just haven't put it together. I've been finished it. I just haven't put it together because I'm still trying to decide why do I want to put it out there. Like, am I putting it out there for the money? Am I putting it out there because I think it'll help and resonate with somebody? So until I really figure that part of it out, I'm still just sitting on things.
Okay, and that is fine. We're going to take a break and y'all marinate on that because she said no. Fuck y'all. I'm just playing, but yeah, like you had to make up no excuse. No,
not even prepared. No, just caught off guard. Yeah, that's the day.
So let's get into this next song. It's called "Side Piece" by Tokyo.
Oh. It's a good song. She got a good sense of humor. Yeah.
I'ma call you my side piece. See, that's what's wrong with us now. Everybody want a goddamn side piece. Be faithful.
I don't
Shit.
think everybody want to be. I think it just kind of is that way nowadays. It's very
It,
rare you find somebody who you can just be exclusive with that one person.
it is for real.
Because
Virgo
even
T said, not this song making the winner circle tour. LOL. What song?
the one that just went off, I think.
I remember hearing this song on Saturday on the BTS showcase, and the video is wild. Oh yeah, and I love the video. OMG, the video is very, very funny. She is on my season 2. Period. Yes, because we share guests around here. What y'all mean? So this is our last and final question of the evening. I love this show. Like I don't even want it to end. Like,
Right. I was
but
just telling my roommate during the break, I said, yo, she's wild. I said, we have so much in common. I said, I just love it. I said, I'm having so much fun. But another
yes.
episode, perhaps.
So let's get into the last question. What advice would you give to someone looking to integrate spirituality into their daily life?
Don't be afraid to ask questions, or don't be afraid to look around and do some research and use discernment, because there's a lot of people doing it because it's trending. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
When I first went through my awakening, it was in 2010, and I was actually in my Christian faith at the time, just trying to have a closer relationship to God. And yeah, when I tell you the things that I experienced really separated me from everybody, because people were saying I was possessed, and I was on substances, and I was actually completely sober, not doing anything, not even herbs, because that's all I've ever done. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it definitely can take you outside of yourself if you really, really want to get to the truth of it. You know what I mean? So I forgot the question.
What
You
advice
gotta be
would you give
creative.
to someone
Oh,
looking
yeah, yeah, definitely do definitely do research, because for me it came to me. I wasn't really looking to be spiritual. I just came across certain people and it resonated with me. So again, I believe in putting things into practice. And the things that I were putting into practice that I learned from spirituality worked better than what I was learning from Christianity, because in
Mhm.
spirituality you really take more control over your path, because you realize you are one with the creator, so you have the power to create whatever you want. You're creating
Right.
it with these predominant thoughts. So just do some due diligence, and don't be afraid to ask questions. But it's an individual thing. Like spirituality really happens to you through life experiences, because you're going to be calling on any and everything when you hit rock bottom and you don't have anybody to support you. And that's when you
Right.
really find out what spirituality is about.
Hmm. I love it, and I take it and I receive it. Before
Thank
we
you.
go, we have 2 comments. Breaking the Silence said, "Great episode. Love you both. We love you too."
Love you too.
Blemish Beauty Podcast said, "It's more profit than profits." Ooh, pay attention.
Mhm.
I like that.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah,
that.
because you are the profit. You are the bag, the benefit. Shout out Mellow Will. He has a song like that, like you are the bag and the benefit. But you are the profit, because one thing the word requires us to do is, first and foremost, is be love, because God is love, and then
Mhm.
share that love out into the world. You know what I mean? And that is the word.
Mhm.
The word is love. God is love. Share that word and be that. And things would be so much more easier, but again, battles, challenges, the illusion
Yeah.
of division. Yeah.
So before we get out of here, I want to hand over the platform to you to let the people know how to find you, how to book you, and all the good stuff that you want them to know about you.
Well, you can find me on all platforms. I am on Facebook as Oheema Ama. I'm on TikTok. Just type in Oheema. All of my platforms start with Oheema. And if you want to book me, you can book me at my email is really long. So you can book me at 757-504-3287. That is my business number. I do have my business information posted on my profile link, but it's Devyne by Design, and that's with a Y and not Divine. It's Devyne by Design, Dezyne, sis for spiritual integration services at gmail.com. I'm still working on a website because I'm not computer savvy, so bear with me. Then that is my piece.
She like, bear with me.
Yeah, I'm not tech. What's that word? I'm not techie savvy. Like I said, when
Me
I say I'm a
too.
natural person, I like to deal with natural things. Like I said, I'm real Luffy. I'm so 60s.
That's me. I ain't even 60.
Yeah.
I'm 45. And
No, I
when I
like I should have been born
no,
in the 60s. I'm not 60
no, that's
yet
what I'm
either.
saying. No,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Like I ain't no 60s. I ain't in the 60s either. Child, I'm 45, and I'm still. When it comes to this internet stuff, like I am not tech savage at all. I
No.
stay. I'm either telling my girlfriend, call it Nikki Nicole. How I do
Yes.
this? How I do that?
I'm like, Miss Networking Champion, who you know in your circle that can help me get my business page and cards and everything in order, please and thank you. I give them a reading. Let's barter with energy.
I swear to God, man. Like,
Got a
I don't
couple
know
of
how to do
gold
this.
coins around here I could give you.
Exactly. So with that being said, I want to say thank you for coming on Successful Toy Podcast. I am very grateful to have you. I love this episode. This was an amazing episode. And thank
Thank
you
you.
guys. You're welcome. Thank you guys for interacting, the shares, the comments, the likes, everything. We appreciate you guys also. But don't you go nowhere. You stay right there. But they got to get the hell out of here. So I will see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
tuning in to the Successful Toy Podcast. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube and Twitch. You can also watch us on Facebook Live. If you prefer to listen, find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Listening Notes, Samsung Podcast, Podcast Index, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. See you in the next episode. Bye.